I found when Googling articles where people criticize Christians for supporting gun rights, in other words, for opposing reasonable gun control. And I found this one. The opinions stated are the authors. I'm not going to read it in its entirety, but I am one of those professing Christians who do believe in a reasonable measure of gun control. In other words, limiting gun ownership to those adults who are of sound mind, who have no record of violent or otherwise serious crime, such as sexual crimes, and who have no record of behavior that has disturbed the public safety, where they have threatened people, and also who have no record of such severe emotional or mental problems as would make them susceptible to kill or wound other people with guns. But I don't, of course, support a massive crackdown on gun ownership. Those who are of sound mind, have a clean record criminally and mentally, and are adults, can own as many guns as they want, as long as they are registered, of course. But to this article, updated on February the 10th, 2018, on the website https://www.nola.com/opinions/index.ssf/2018/02 fear underscore not underscore faith underscore is underscore motivating underscore t.html. Why do many fearful Christians put more faith in guns than God? Opinion. We all have fears. We fear failure, debilitating illness, or death. We're afraid of violence. We fear the unknown, the other, and sometimes the truth. Jesus told his disciples, "Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." The Gospel according to John chapter 14, verse 27. He also said, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself." Matthew chapter 6, verse 34. There is no fear in love, 1 John 4:18. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Psalm 23, verse 4. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1. For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. 2 Timothy 1:17. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. Isaiah 41:10. The Lord is with me. I will not be afraid. Psalm 118:6. So why, in this part of the world at least, are Christians the most fearful, well-armed people many of us know? Why do so many Jesus followers reject one of his fundamental admonitions about being afraid? We fear immigrants despite our scriptures telling us to welcome them and the evidence they are less violent than native-born Americans. We fear the poor despite the scriptures assuring us God favors them and the reality that poverty is a cancer that affects everyone and exposes our society's spiritual destitution. We fear social change despite Jesus urging us to fight for the powerless and to defend the humanity and dignity of every person. We allow this fear to rule us despite knowing injustice is a corrosive, destructive force that fractures communities. We fear those of different races and religions, although the Bible commands us to welcome the stranger. And that fear blinds us to the strength derived from our nation's diversity and its history of welcoming people from every country and faith. The ultimate disguise whereby you can remain a mean-spirited person is to do it for God or country. You are relieved of all inner anxiety. You can maintain your positive self-image and even some kind of moral high ground, while hidden underneath are the bones of the dead and every kind of corruption, as Jesus said, Matthew 23:27. This quote was probably from Father Richard Rohr. As a follower of Jesus, I find it embarrassing that some of the least fearful people I know profess no faith at all. I find it doubly embarrassing that those whose fears drag them into a downward spiral of hatred and alienation often profess the deepest faith. Those of us who belong to the Christian faith might learn something from some of our less religious friends. Their passion for justice should embarrass us. Their commitment to the poor should shame us. Their embrace of progress compared to our fretful, fearful outlook should mortify us. Their celebration of diversity compared to our fearful bigotry should humiliate us. Our collective fears are not just unchristian, they threaten our peace and security. When we are fearful, we make decisions that hurt ourselves and others. Bertrand Russell, who by the way is a famous 20th century British mathematician, unfortunately at least an agnostic if not an atheist, said it well. Neither a man nor a crowd nor a nation can be trusted to act humanely or to think sanely under the influence of a great fear. Robert Mann, an author and former U.S. Senate and gubernatorial staffer, holds the Mannship chair in journalism at the Mannship School of Mass Communication at Louisiana State University. Read more from him at his blog, Something Like the Truth. Follow him on Twitter at RTMannJr. or email him at bob.mann@outlook.com.